Welcome back to M Hood Discovered. So here's the deal. I've only had a few hours of sleep. It is deep in the afternoon. I've had like 4 hours of sleep. I'm changing my schedule, but I'm starving. It is Saturday. It is about almost 5 p.m. It is 95 degrees outside. Field temp says 107, 108. It's pretty warm in the kitchen, not much of a cross breeze. So we're going to do something that we could just get ready and leave on the stove, going slow and low. We're going to do a Chasseur. Now, when I say Chasseur, some people think of a specific recipe, right? There is a specific recipe. There are specific recipes, yes, but Chasseur, what it means is huntsman style. Originally is for rabbit, right? It's a way to make a stew basically in your frying pan. Some people want to argue that, oh, that's not a real Chasseur. That's just because they're so used to one recipe, one way of doing it, right? Yeah, you're right. It's more of an idea, more of a theory, more of cooking theory, like an idea of how to do something quick when you're at camp. Yeah, you're right. So that's what we're doing. And I'm going to show you. Well, we're doing it with chicken and Gagootza. And let me show you how we're going to do it. But first, let me show you the chicken. That's where we start. That's it. See? 3 leg quarters. First thing I want to do is get the salt and the seasoning rubbed in there. Got some kosher salt, black pepper. Go ahead and get that on there. Little more salt. You gotta be going easy. You gotta be going easy with this. This is Cajun Land blackening seasoning. It's just something I like. We'll go easy. Yes, that's what I call easy. And then we're gonna throw in some sage. We can rub it around and all that, but what we really need to do is turn them and repeat. We're gonna do the same thing. Now that I've got a fair amount of seasoning in there, I'm going to like seriously just try to rub that in a bit. And once I have that done, I'm going to get my flour here to the side, just all-purpose flour. Start shaking that on a little bit. Get it well coated on that one side. Put a little more. At this point, you can shake it around a bit because you've got excess flour in there for sure, right? Shake it. And then gently come in here, turn them over, see what's up on the other side. You might want to add a little more flour. Put a little more in there. Shake it again. Get that nice and mixed in there. And we'll just put a tad more flour. And there we go. So now what I want to do, stick it in the fridge, maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Let's see. I got a few things to do. It needs to just sit in the fridge for a little bit. One of the things I remember back in the day when I lived out in the country as a little kid, women would batter the chicken the day before they would fry it, and they would leave it in the fridge in a brown paper sack overnight. It does come out good when you do it that way. Block 20-30 minutes to maybe even an hour, that's just fine. Just let it sit. The moisture is going to soak up more of that flour and all that seasoning. Give me time to do the rest of the prep. Cut, and all that good stuff. Yeah, you're right. Business in the other room took a little longer than I thought, but that's all good. That's all fine. Just means everything is going to be even so much better for it, right? So, yeah, not that big of a deal. Let that chicken sitting there for a bit. It's time to cut an onion. I am so tired, but yeah. Yeah, sometimes I gotta change my schedule just to go do something with a friend. I've been going to sleep early in the morning, something like that, late, wake up in the afternoon, and then, because it's been so hot, but now I've gotta wake up and go do something at a time when I would be normally going to sleep. Flip-flop. Gotta do a lot of flip-flopping. What do you think, Tulse? Whole or half? I think we will use the whole onion, but we're gonna do two different things. The first half, I'm going to cut into smaller pieces. I'm sure you can figure out that the second half will be bigger pieces. So if this was the second half, I'd probably pretty much stop cutting. But it's the first half. I'm going to keep cutting. What you feel like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600? I think we're gonna go for 2, maybe 3. I don't know. But we've got to take this. We could take the seeds out. 3. I think I will limit it there. 3 jalapenos. When I was young, growing up in Texas, I learned that you could go by this simple rule. If you're putting jalapenos in it, and at least more than one, it's okay to call it Tex-Mex. Yeah, you're right. Some people like, yeah, that's not how it works, but that's how it worked for my mother. Sometimes I'd be like, come on, you overdid it. Like, we're talking like spaghetti sauce, Tex-Mex style. It's got jalapenos in it, but 12 of them. And we're not talking a stock pot of sauce with 12. We're talking a small pot with 12 jalapenos in it. It's like, my goodness, you can't even taste any Italian essence in that. You're just like, woo, that's hot. Yeah, woo. Because I excluded the seeds, just scooped them out, put them in the trash. This is not going to be extremely hot. If I left the seeds in, there'd be more heat retained in the food and the flavor of the food. But a lot of this heat is going to cook out. It'll still be there, but it's not going to be intense. It would. If you leave the seeds in, it'll be a little more intense, right? So basically I'm working on a trinity, right? And the jalapenos take the place of bell peppers because unfortunately the store that I have easy access to shop at is really, really expensive, and what they want for a bell pepper is yeah, it's pretty high. I am not going to get all the way there with this trinity. I don't have celery. I'm not going to go get it. We're not missing garlic. This is ready. Garlic chopped up fine, onion fairly fine, and the jalapeno. Now we got to move on to the next step. We'll start with medium just to get that hot. Look at that. Looking good. That is brown. You don't necessarily have to get it black. That would be blackening the chicken. Now that we've got one side brown, what we're going to do is add all this stuff in there on top of that brown side. So now I'm going to put the lid on. I'm sure that other side, the bottom side, is going to brown. It may be browned right now already. We're gonna take the heat back. We're gonna come really close to low. We can put it on a 1 on this electric range. Let that sit for a second, let all that get to know each other, and now we gotta cut. Come on. Gagootza, 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 got a lot of different names. Bottleneck gourd, bottleneck squash. Yeah, you're right. That's a whole one and right up out of my garden. But I got a half one from the other day. I made lentils with the other half. It's already clean. We'll take the stem off, put that to the side. We'll cut it in half again. All right down the middle. And then again over here. And chunk them. The other half the onion. I'm gonna just take my time and separate the onions. I'm gonna add a little more Gagootza. I'm gonna add a little bit of carrot just for flavor. I may have just lost a few clips. I don't know how much or if I did it all, but the camera overheated. So I got the vegetables in there. I'm going to add some water. There are a lot of Chasseur recipes that will tell you add stock at this point. They'll tell you to parboil your vegetables and then add them, make a stock or whatever. If you keep looking, you'll find a lot of different ones that say different things, ones that are tomato based and ones that are not. It is okay if you just have water, because towards the end of this process it's going to be a stock anyway. So I just put a cup in there, a cup and a half, I'm sorry. Let's see. That's about 2 cups of water. Put the lid back on. I'm gonna bring my heat back up. Shake that a little bit. I want it to come up to a boil. And then you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop that heat back. Yeah, you right. Yeah, you right. Yeah, you right. Don't get any weird ideas. But yeah, you're right. I just got this out of the garden. Just went out there, was looking. This one was ready to go. Listen to that. Wow. I'm going to give this to Alex tomorrow. Yeah, you're right. So I'm just going to leave that on low for an hour or so. Shouldn't take it too much longer than an hour. But the longer on low, the better it's going to taste. But if you go too long, I can't promise it's going to taste better. But yeah, low and slow. Way to go. Wow. You got to see this. It's been well over an hour. It's just been sitting here churning away. I got to be honest. Around halfway, the halfway point, I came and I took the lid off to let moisture escape. We got something going on. I actually took the heat off maybe 20 minutes ago and I went out with the dogs. We got this really thick gravy. The chicken is just at that point where it's falling off the bone. Look how thick my gravy is. That's because of the flour on the chicken. And the Gagootza adds to that thickness too. Just check that out. Wow. That is looking really good. That's perfect. A good Chasseur should end up like this. Not soupy, not thin, not super thick, but just a normal gravy. And that's what we have here. You can really taste the sage. I'm surprised. But yeah, I can taste the sage. There's a little bit of that jalapeno flavor in there. And the black pepper. Not too salty. Just right. I don't think I need to add any salt to this. Whoa. That is good. Wow. Yeah. I bet the anti-bread people, the anti-carb people are freaking out. It's all good. I'm tickled pink whenever I see anti-carb comments or anti-bread comments. It's just funny. Yeah, I get it. Like, if you're eating carbs every day, all day, that could be a problem. But the only things that I want to cut out of my diet the most, it's not bread per se. It's processed foods, foods with all these chemicals I can't pronounce, and like straight up sugar. Like, I don't want a lot of sugar in my diet. I've cut so much sugar out. I used to be a sugar fiend. You know, I didn't grow up eating healthy food. I grew up eating a lot of processed food, and there were a lot of Little Debbies, a lot of sugary drinks. So yeah, basically it's processed food. And you know, people say that, oh, carbs are bad for you. Well, they're not bad in moderation, right? Yeah. This is something that I make mostly it's a weekend thing, maybe a Sunday thing. This is Saturday, so technically you can't call it a Sunday roast, but I'm going to have some of that left over for tomorrow, right? And this is definitely a weekend meal or a Sunday meal. Definitely. It's not a Monday meal unless you have it left over still on Monday. But this is something that back in the day, maybe they would make this, definitely in France, they would make this on more days than just the weekend days, right? But fast forward up to now, modernity, this is definitely something you make for the family or yourself, such as I did on the weekend. Yeah, because it's heavy. It's not breakfast. After I eat this, I'm going to pass out. Wow. Before I retreat back into the AC, I must say, I must be honest, this is the first time making a Chasseur with Gagootza. Wow. Really nice. I'm so glad my friend introduced me to this vegetable. Very interesting. I will keep growing it in the future when I can. Yeah, you're right. All right. Until then, I'm just going to have to say thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting. Definitely thank you for subscribing, and thank you for being a member of the channel. Yeah, you're right. I really appreciate it. Thank you for just watching. My goodness. And yeah, you're right. I will see you next time.